Welcome back. Our conversation about drama at the drama festivals continues. And I'd like to go to Bonyo because we haven't really looked at how all this started. Because the play had been staged, I think, twice.
Yep.
And then it had gone to the next stage, and they had been allowed to come to the nationals, but then there were some complications.
True.
And a former student went to court.
Yep.
Despite the claims that were made by the statement, Ministry of Education statement, saying that there were changes in the script, someone did go to court, and there was an affidavit there. And what was claimed in the statement and what was in the affidavit by the former student who went to court were different about the reasons why this play was not moving forward as it should.
Exactly. A former student of Butere Girls, Anifa Mango, went to court on the 4th, actually on the 2nd of April. And she says that she had gone to school to find out the progress of that play, but because they had qualified to go to the nationals. And so as a member of the school's alumni drama association, and this is very important because we've seen statements saying that the alumni did not go to court.
Okay.
Anifa is very specific, that it was the drama association, the alumni of the drama association. So she goes to school to try and find out what is the progress and the preparation of these young girls for their travel to Nakuru for the performance. And then the school principal tells her that actually she finds that the children have been let to go home. And on inquiry, the principal says they will not be performing at the national levels because she received some verbal directions from a Ministry of Education official, who also in turn claims that he or she received verbal directions from somewhere else that the play had some political undertones and therefore was not supposed to stage at the national level. So when she moves to court, what are the things she does? She puts in the play script. She puts in all the adjudication results from the various levels that this play had gone through, indicating that there was no issue with the play. It had been scored as high as 89% in some of the adjudicating processes. So therefore tells you that this play had got nothing to do with what the Ministry of Education now says, that they were instructed to change the script or they changed the script a long way. Because if you see the script that is been attached as part of the affidavits and what has been circulating, I mean, there's no difference. It's the same. So when she goes to court, the court finally orders that these girls must perform their play on the day they were scheduled to perform, which was the 4th day, and the 10th of April, which was 2 days. So that is why they ended up yesterday at that school in Nakuru in preparations for 2 days. And that is how Cleophas Malala finds himself in that school, because as a playwright, he needed time with the girls to rehearse, to adjust a few things so that when they appear on stage today, then they appear in their best shape and manner to deliver an award-winning play as they had wished to. So this is basically what happened in the same.
Yeah, and then there's a court order, as you said, to that effect in Kisii that said the play should go on. This is a case of tunalenga amri ya mahakama, because the argument being given by I think it was the CS Education, saying that the girls walifika up and they refused to do the play without their director. The girls were even saying they didn't even have their props. They said they didn't even have, I think, a microphone. The auditorium was empty. So, you know, it's also psychological when you go stage a play, when you're an artist, unataka audience, unataka props ile umezoea. I mean, hey, you're there to win. But then now, it took two things for me. One, was this play so controversial? Because I was looking at a summary of what it was. It's a futuristic political satire and social commentary exploring generational conflict, power, and the role of technology in activism. The story centers on Mustafa, who is a university student and innovator who creates a telemedicine app, and Anifa Imana, aka AI, the personification of artificial intelligence and a symbol of youth consciousness. So there's this whole thing. It ends well. You know, at the end of the play, there's mutual reconciliation. The youth apologize for whatever they did. Well, there is a sultan there who acknowledges the ingenuity. The state promised to implement Mustafa's app, and Anifa is assigned to lead the cybersecurity reforms, and the war is declared over. So it has this happy ending. So was it so bad that it warranted journalists to be tear-gassed the previous night and students to be tear-gassed the next day, and the gates to the venue of the National Schools Drama Festival locked early in the morning, and all the drama that followed.
Again, the burden of proving that still is with the government, and specifically the Ministry of Education, and of course the Cabinet Secretary for Interior Affairs, who has invited himself to this drama. Because to say that some of the messages are alarming or inciting or bad language, and because they're saying, the statement from the ministry says that the Regulation X of the Drama and Festival Event Regulations bans hate statements targeting communities, personalities, gender, both on stage and out of stage, and on social media is a misconduct. So they need to come and prove. Because when you look at the script itself, I mean, it's developing scene by scene, and you don't see what is the inflammation, or the, what is the word? You don't see what would cause ethnic tensions or societal tensions in the country. And I'm just wondering, between the adjudicators of drama festivals and professors or doctors or cabinet secretaries, who is best placed to judge a script? Why would you subject the work of art to a cabinet secretary or principal secretary while you have a qualified adjudicator to judge based on the tenets of determining what qualifies as good drama or not? I think that it's something that should have been left to the adjudicators themselves, and trust them, because they are hired to do exactly that. Now, imagine such a play is before the High Court of Kenya for judges to adjudicate. Like, honestly, what is this? I think the society must be given its space to laugh at itself, because when you reflect on what is going on, the generational situations, talking about the promises that are made in advancing a society versus what is delivered, and you don't say it, the society must be given an opportunity to reflect on that. And I'm just wondering, we once had a show on TV called Ridiculous.
Yeah. And
it was political satire on so many things that are happening in the country, and they ridiculed presidents, first ladies. They were never shut down. They were never arrested. They were never tear-gassed. If you're to reflect on even the film industry across the world, there are certain films that have been conducted that you say, oof, you're actually imagining an assassination of a president. If you're talking about the designated survivor where every member of the cabinet dies, should the US government arrest those people, the producers of that film, because they are over-imagining things? I think we have to agree that we have creative minds in this country, that there's space for art, that a country must get an opportunity to reflect on itself. And you cannot do that without creative arts. If you have to look at what happens in this country, even the music festivals, and the political satire that you witness, if you have a problem with the young generation, if you have to remember there were Gen Z demonstrations last year, the government did what it did in responding. If you have criminal elements in the country, you deal with the criminal elements. Leave drama alone.
True.
It's just a reflection of society.
It is a reflection of society. It is
and
art.
It's acted.
Yeah, and it's acted. It's not like...
Not real.
And I think technology has given space for creativity to thrive. Yeah, when you pass certain streets in Nairobi during the weekends, you see how busy young people are filming and recording and all, and that's art. That's a way of expressing themselves, and that space should not be muzzled at all. I think
actually, I suspect there will be a lot of plays coming on board.
Yes, in Abuja.
What you've witnessed the past 1 year, from impeachment of a deputy president, maybe in the next drama festivals, this is an idea could give
be a script.
Playwrights write about how to impeach.
How not to impeach.
And it's very brutal drama, because the scripting. When you look at the script, you'll actually just see why it had all these flashpoints. The overzealous police officer, I think at page 5 we have the script. And there's that very interesting exchange between Mustafa, whose father was shot in a demonstration. First of all, the policeman is asking very interesting questions. Tell me, what's a paramedic and a student doing in a demonstration? Of course, questioning why these ones were demonstrating. This is a play straight out of the Gen Z demonstrations last year, no denying. And when Mustafa says, my father was hit by a stray bullet, the retort there by the police officer is, correction. Your stray father was hit by a bullet. The bullet was on its legitimate path. Yeah, and you see, this was the moment,
Yeah.
and you know, it's the theater is peaceful. No tear gas in most cases. So you can sit and actually watch and see what the country went through last year. There's absolutely no doubt, if you are uncomfortable about what happened last year, June last year, this play is about that. And remember, the setting was the clash between the old generation and the younger generation.
And the kingdom.
Again, it depicts these are ongoing struggles right now, whether it's on the religious side or even the political side. The country is in this kind of conflict.
Yeah, I agree, Elinas, and it's exactly what we said, ni kioo cha jamii. I mean, sanaa reflects what